Today we talk about UFC 219.
For the win! He did!
I know it. All right, what's up?
Nothing.
Ah, man, it's been a couple days.
Yeah, it's been 5 days since we've uploaded and over a week since we filmed.
Yeah. But that's okay because today we're going to come back with UFC 219. And let me tell you something. What is this? Is this mine or is this yours?
It's yours.
Oh, it is? All right. It's good lemonade. All right. So today we're going to talk about 219. Now, we're... all right. So we're talking about 219, but we're really only going to talk about the main event and the co-main event.
And that is Chuck Liddell versus...
Yes.
Brock Lesnar.
Of course. What? No.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tyler's here, by the way.
Yes. Hey, Tyler.
Hello.
I'm glad you
Say
could
hi
join
to
us.
yourself because you're going to listen to this on YouTube for sure.
Ah, yes. I'll probably wait till I'm back in Alaska, but I will listen to it.
And I think you'll bring me back to this point in time. Okay. So, no, the co-main event. Let's go ahead and talk about the co-main event first, which is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza.
First name you just made up noises.
Well, actually, you have the card pulled up. Can you pull that picture back up just so I can look at these people? There it is. Okay, so Khabib Nurmagomedov
I'm going with Barboza.
versus Edson Barboza.
Khabib is maybe the ugliest person I've seen in my life.
Okay.
I'm going with Khabib just because he's Russian.
All right. Now, let me go ahead and tell you something.
The Eagle? Is
The
that an
Eagle.
anti-America joke?
No, it's not. But listen. Number one, look at his record.
I don't give a rip about records.
His record is flawless. Now, he is undefeated in the UFC. Now, he is a high level wrestler. High level grappler. Okay? And the thing about him is he comes from the same team that like I don't know, just like a bunch of big guys come from. So Daniel Cormier, he is light heavyweight champion.
Now, the thing with Daniel Cormier is I think of him to the UFC as I think of Kevin Owens to the WWE.
Okay. Oh, because he looks out of shape.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Except for the only thing about this is Kevin Owens is a good wrestler. I'll give him that, but he's out of shape. And the only reason I don't like that he's so out of shape and they push him is because I watched like the Breaking Grounds, which is a WWE show, and there was one guy who I really liked, but he was out of shape, and they just gave him crap the whole time. Like, you can't be a wrestler, you're out of shape. And then they try to push Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason I don't like Kevin Owens. But Daniel Cormier, number one, wrestling, it is an athletic event, and people do get hurt, and they do risk their bodies in WWE for sure. But not like they do in UFC. Not like they do in MMA for sure. And Daniel Cormier has beaten everybody in light heavyweight not named John Jones. And both times John Jones was popped for steroids. So, or
cocaine.
Supplements. So,
after
anyways,
a weekend of cocaine and hookers and several STDs.
If you think about Daniel Cormier, who is a monster wrestler, okay? Medalist, gold medalist wrestler. He's a monster wrestler. And then that's who Khabib just gets to grapple with all the time. Okay? A much bigger man. A much stronger guy. And a much more talented wrestler for sure. So, he is high level. And if he gets you to the ground, he will smash your face into a jelly. 100%. And his record, he's 24-0. Now, the only thing with him is if you want to know the level of his ground and pound, all you have to do is watch him versus Michael Johnson. And I may have showed you him versus Michael Johnson before. So he was working his way up to fight Conor McGregor, who he wanted to fight Conor, and he called him McChicken. Okay? He wanted to fight Little Chicken.
Little Chicken. Okay.
Yes, Little Chicken. And so he fights Michael Johnson on his way up, and it was the most it was a classic beatdown, and Michael Johnson is top. You know, he's top shelf. He's not like some punk, but Khabib wrestled him down to the ground, got his arms tied up, and just smashed him, and he could not get up at all. And the whole time, every single round, it ended. He wouldn't go to his corner. He'd go over to where Dana White is, and he'd say, I need to fight for the belt. I'm ready. I'm ready to fight for the belt. Let me fight that chicken. Let me fight for the belt. Shit. And then the round would start. He would get Michael Johnson on the ground, tie his arms up, punch him in the face, and say, you have to give up. Punch him in the face. I have to fight for the title. Punch him in the face. You know I deserve this. Give up. And he would just murder him. Beat his face into a jelly until he put his arm into Kimura and almost broke his arm off. Like, even the announcers, Joe Rogan was like, he's got to tap. He's going to break his arm. He's going to break his arm. He's got to tap. Dominant.
Good Lord.
Dominant. Okay? So, once again, and you'll see a theme for these two fights that we're going to talk about, because there are two fighters in there that are clear favorites and unbeaten in the octagon.
Okay.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is the one in this one. Now, Edson Barboza hasn't had, as long of a run. He's coming off of a 3-fight win streak right now. Now, let's talk about him for just a minute now, because if you ever watch highlights of Khabib, he has weird punches. So he's like, his standing game is super weird, kind of random. He throws this weird punch where he's off balance, and he takes his right hand, and he'll hit you an uppercut like this. With his fist.
Oh, weird, okay.
Yeah, with his fist horizontal like that, and he'll fight you, come at you like this, Real weird. His ground game is where he wants. Now, Edson Barboza here is surgeon-like precision when it comes to striking. And he has set a record. He's the only person who has had a spinning heel kick knockout in the UFC history. No one else has ever done that.
Okay.
So, and I showed you that kick. And when he kicked that guy, he stiffened up like this. A bad knockout. And he's the only one to ever have a finish like that in history of the UFC. He is just a massive kicker. And his stand-up game is if this fight stays up, I'm taking Edson all day, every single day.
Yeah.
His striking is so much more dominant than Khabib's striking is. And one thing about him is, if you can just watch his highlight reels, it's almost like the floor is lava to him. Whenever he gets knocked down or taken down, he's so quick to get up. It's like if his feet are not the only thing touching the ring, he needs up. He needs up. It's almost like a panic when he's on the ground. So this is where things get interesting, because they both are masters at their own position, which they're both going to find themselves in their wheelhouse in this fight, because every round will start standing up.
Right.
And Edson Barboza is a nightmare standing up, and he can knock you out at any point. Yeah. And then Khabib is a monster on the ground and can just take you down and smash you. And it doesn't matter. He's so used to grappling with bigger guys, like Daniel Cormier, that anyone in his division is nothing.
Yeah.
So to take him down.
It looks like, just looking at the stats, they look completely opposite. Like, Khabib's 33% submission rate, and then Barboza has a 58% KO rate.
Yep.
Like, it's like they're dominant in different ways, and it's just whoever is going to be more dominant at their specific thing.
And here's the thing, though. So what are the problems? What are the problems with each of them that they're going to have to address? Number one, Khabib has a weird stand-up game. And I know he's a UFC fighter, but his striking is not as good. It's not top shelf. His like ground and pound is top shelf, but his striking is really weird. We talked about it. And Edson Barboza, man, he's not going to be able to match up on the ground with Khabib. And so what happens is Edson Barboza, he loves to give like spinning shots. So wheel kicks, spinning back fists. He loves those things. Now the problem when you spin, especially with someone like Khabib, because Khabib can capitalize on this, is what happens whenever there's a spinning shot is they have to be in the right range in order to hit it. So he can knock you out. Barboza can knock you out with a spinning heel kick, no problem, as long as you're in the right range for his heel to hit you in the temple. If he scoots forward, then it can knock him down, it can knock him off balance, it can stun him, but it won't knock him out. Okay? And so, especially with Khabib, who's used to sparring with heavier, bigger guys, he's gonna have to find the right range for these spinning moves that he likes to throw. But what happens, especially with a wrestler, you have to be careful with, anytime your back is turned, Khabib can rush in and take your back. And as soon as he takes Barboza's back, that round is pretty much done. Because he'll knock him down, he'll take him down, and he'll tie him up. He won't be able to get up. Because Khabib is notorious. He's missed weight. I think like his last 2 fights for sure, he's missed weight. So which means he's definitely coming in there heavier than Barboza will ever be.
Right.
And so this one, man, I go back and forth on this one, and on the other one especially. But before I make my pick, I want to know, because I know Ray, I know what you like to do. You like to go the opposite of what I do. Yes. So what? I mean, just based on what you know, what do you think?
Based on what I know, I think Khabib has cauliflower ears, and I think that's really unattractive.
Okay.
Also, his arms are much less cut than Edson Barboza.
Okay.
So just for that. Also, I hate how white guys, when they wear shorts, sometimes their leg hair is really dark. I think his leg hair is really dark. So I'm going Edson Barboza by knockout.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. If it ends and he wins, it's got to be by knockout. I don't think this will go to the judges, honestly. Tyler?
I am taking Khabib by submission.
Okay. Perfect. Any rounds, you guys?
I think round 4.
Round 4?
Do we
okay.
have 5 rounds?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Second round knockout.
Second round knockout. Holy cow. Okay, cool. Man, I don't know. I think come the night, I might change my mind. But right now, I really just feel like I'm really rooting for Khabib. I'm really rooting for him because I think that what I really want to see is him versus Tony Ferguson. I want to see that real bad.
Now, that's the number 1 contender, right?
Yeah,
the one that got
Ferguson
fucked
is.
by GSP coming back?
Is that
no.
That's the one that is.
That's Robert Whittaker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Robert Whittaker. No,
that's right. I know UFC.
He got screwed over because Conor just isn't fighting. And by the way, speaking of Conor. He put out like a tweet or something like that said he may never fight again.
Yeah, I've been seeing that shit.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I think he'll fight one more time. I think we'll see him vacate the belt, and I think we'll see Conor McGregor versus GSP.
I think we'll see him fight Floyd Mayweather in the octagon.
No
yes,
freaking way.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
That'll last a total of 30 seconds.
Listen, don't even worry about it.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, so there's that one. So I think Khabib, really because I like his style and I want him to go on.
You just like his name, don't you?
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Are you proud for knowing how to say that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I probably live closer to him than I do to you guys.
You probably do.
Damn it. Yeah, you probably do.
Do you want to make the next one second podcast?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah. All right.
As always, LeBron, you're a pussy bitch. And go fuck yourself and defend yourself on this podcast.
And I don't like you, Big Baller Brand.